Have you ever heard the creation myth of the Sinnoh region? The original story? In the beginning, there was only a churning turmoil of chaos. At the heart of chaos, where all things became one, appeared an egg. Having tumbled from the vortex, the egg gave rise to the original one. This is thought to be the origin story of Arceus and the Sinnoh region. But there is a secret second chapter to this myth that not many know. For then, from the chaos came another egg, and from it came the even originaler one, and its name echoed throughout the chambers of time. Maya, the Bidoof. Hey Pokemon Masters, so for the release of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I thought it'd be fun to do another challenge run. You all seem to really enjoy my Let's Go challenge so much that I had to do something fun for this release. And I was stumped at first. What do? Do I do my first ever Nuzlocke like I promised in that video? Maybe, but then I remembered the time in 2016 when I did a whole run through of Platinum version with just a lonely barrel. And I thought, I gotta do something harder than that. Oh, well, how about I just take out the chance to evolve and keep it as a Bidoof? What if, when I started my adventure around the Sinnoh region, I ditched my starter, grabbed myself a Bidoof, and traveled around the whole region with just the one Pokemon? I've played Pokemon Diamond and Pearl before, and this is supposed to be a faithful remake, so I should know these games pretty well. It can't be that hard, right? So full of excitement and live to many of you on YouTube, I loaded up the game for the first time and listened to Rowan introduce me to the wonderful world of Pokemon with my favorite track in the whole franchise. And I set off to begin my journey to test one simple question. Can you beat Pokemon Brilliant Diamond with just a Bidoof? My journey began where all journeys in Sinnoh begin, in Twin Leaf Town. There, my rival Falcone seemed eager to explore. He's named after my best friend and future housemate, Falcone. He, in the real world, being the good friend that he is, jumped straight into doing a Nuzlocke just to prove that he's better than me. You know, I think when we move in together, we're gonna have a lot of fun doing like live challenges together, soul links, that kind of thing. I guess Phoebe is invited as well. But we bought a house together and we should be in by the time Legends Arceus comes out. It's very exciting. Anyway, we set off to Lake Verity where we met Professor Rowan and Dawn, and we got cornered by some Starlies. Someone forgot how to keep their birds, and I had to choose a starting Pokemon, and right away my strategic brain sprung into action. If I choose Turtwig, then Falcone will choose Chimchar, and his Infernape and Monferno will be super effective against my poor future Bidoof. If I choose a Chimchar, then his Empoleon would have bulky defenses, and Bidoof would have struggled. But I know that Bidoof is a versatile Pokemon that can use moves like Ice Beam, so I picked up Piplup, forcing Falcone to take Turtwig, and hoping one day I'll be able to take advantage of that quad weakness to Ice. And spoiler warning, I never do. So I nicknamed my Piplup not a Bidoof, and as soon as I could, I got my first set of Pokeballs and headed into the long grass to catch myself my partner in crime for the rest of this run. There was some debate whether I should be allowed to hunt for an advantageously natured Bidoof, one that's gonna really benefit me on my run through, but then I met her. Maya. As soon as I saw her, I weakened her in battle and tossed a Pokeball, catching this sassy-natured Bidoof, and I called her Maya, spelt wrong, one because I'm dyslexic, but also named after the mighty Miyamoto, the monster barrel of myth that I beat Platinum with all those years ago. And with that, we were off. We were off and rolling, and yeah, death came pretty swiftly. If this was a Nuzlocke, then it would have been over, because that Starly from before came back from the lake and got its sweet, sweet revenge on Maya. But this was just the first of many hurdles for us, a team growing exercise. We're gonna be teammates thick and thin. I'm not gonna replace her for a Bidoof with a different, better nature, although don't tell Maya, but if a shiny popped up, I absolutely would have boxed her with Piplup because, you know, shinies. Dawn gave me a pointless catching tutorial, which I wouldn't be needing because I wouldn't be catching any more Pokemon for the entirety of this run, and we continued to train. Mostly against many of Maya's family and friends. We got the whole of the Sinnoh region to see. There's time and space gods, and there's legends, and there's a Team Galactic, and there's lots of Bidoof to slaughter. I mean, to faint. to faint, and we set our sights on Jubilife City. We met a man who had some interesting things to say about Jubilife City's construction, which is interesting because it implied that Oreburgh City existed before Jubilife. But we know that Jubilife Village exists in Legends Bidoof and Arceus, you know, the upcoming title. Falcone wanted a rematch, but it was no biggie because at level 9 we could start using rollout to build up some strength and run over his team. Annoyingly, right before this battle, I had exchanged Defense Curl for Workup, and I did not realize that Defense Curl and rollout work together so well to build up the damage of rollout attack. Had I realized that, I absolutely wouldn't have deleted the move. Is that why Whitney's so strong? Either way, with Workup at our disposal, we were able to boost our stats and roll our way through the Oreburgh Gate and into the mine for some training. There we met the gym leader, Rourke, and we went straight to his gym where we defeated all of his gym trainers and finally faced off in a battle against him. And to be honest, it was going well at first. Geodude went down, and with enough potions I was able to keep pace with Onix, but then came Cranidos. And yeah, it kind of flattened me. So I decided to pop back to Jubilife City to get hold of an item called the Quick Claw, an item that really didn't leave Bidoof for most of the run. This would allow Maya to outspeed her on occasion and made me feel less bad about the fact that she is sassy, meaning her speed was lowered. Occasionally I was gonna go first no matter what. A lot of people recommended that I give Maya the Everstone the moment I could, but I disagreed with this fundamentally. All the Everstone would prevent was the animation for evolution playing, but I can just press B. The advantages in battle here were needed much, much more. After a lucky succession of Quick Claws and then Rourke for some reason using Leer instead of taking the kill when they could, we got our first gym badge, and Maya had done it. We were one gym badge down and we would make our way up and north to Eterna City. Before that though, we had a few quick stops, first of which was in Jubilife City, where Team Galactic would learn for the first time of the legend of Maya. They were then also in Falroma Town, and on our way there, we met two very, very sassy trainers who wouldn't battle us just because we only had one Pokemon. You only have one Pokemon? That's so boring. I beg your... Can we just... What did she say? What did you say? What did she say? You want sassy? I'll show you sassy. We also met this lovely old couple in Falroma Town who gave us two new mythical Pokemon. The first was a Mew called Not a Bidoof, and the second was a Jirachi called Not a Bidoof, and they went in the box with my other Not a Bidoof. While traveling through this early part of my adventure, I was realizing that the first big challenge for us was really gonna sit at the third Pokemon gym with Maylene. She is a fighting type expert, and Bidoof of course is a normal type Pokemon, being super effective against absolutely nothing, but taking super effective damage from one type and one type only, fighting, and that was going to be the third Pokemon gym. However, here in Falroma Town, I had the beginning of a plan starting to form. See, Bidoof can learn a whole range of TMs, and I knew that I was going to need to make use of that during this run. And there's one TM that you find in Falroma Town which would be my counter to fighting type Pokemon, and that was the TM for Pluck, a relatively weak physical flying type move that Bidoof can learn, that if the opponent is holding a berry, it will also take the advantages of that berry. I got some practice in with this against Commander Mars, who sadly took a couple tries, but eventually we broke through and made our way to Eterna Forest, where I could use Pluck on a whole host of bug Pokemon, getting super effective damage and making my way through. In Eterna City, I tried to gain access to the Grand Underground and battle against the relatively equal level Pokemon that I found down there to gain additional experience, but I actually found some of them were too strong, including Bidoof that was stronger than Maya. But I was not going to replace Maya with just some upgraded model, again, unless it was shiny. So I tried my hand at the Eterna City gym, and to my surprise, Pluck was a really good strategy. I was able to take on Gardenia, wipe out all of the gym trainers, and then even take on her and her Rose Raid, earning my second gym badge. No, the true challenge and second boss for me was not going to be Gardenia, but instead would be Commander Jupiter and her Skuntank. Let me paint a picture for you. I've got one Pokemon. Jupiter Zubat could use Poison Fang to badly poison my Pokemon, and poison, it gains damage with every turn that passes by, meaning I have to stay on top of using antidotes, using poison heals, and keeping potions going to keep my health up. But then, even if I was able to beat Zubat, I had to take on her Skuntank, a Pokemon that, while I could use Pluck to take advantage of that citrus berry it's holding, ultimately would always deal damage to me upon itself fainting. This is because of the ability Aftermath, which, if I had taken enough damage already from poison and attacks from Zubat, and Zubat can also confuse, putting me in a terrible place, could lead to Bidoof fainting. And if Bidoof faints as a result of Aftermath, even though I've beaten Jupiter, the game acts as if it's a loss, not a tie, meaning Jupiter has not been beat and I have to start this battle all over again. Oh no. No, it tied! It tied! She's not the winner! We tied! It was a tie game! So, I took a little bit of a break, I had a nap, I had some food, and then I came back to it with a fresh mind. And it did take a couple of tries getting the right combination of workups to boost up my attacks, and potions and poison healings at the correct time, but I managed to find a way to clear out Eterna City. And then I made my way to Cycling Road, also known as the highway to the danger zone. Yeah, I'm still using softboxes in my office that I've had since the beginning of the channel, and the light is disgustingly hot and blinding. Luckily, that's one of those things that's just going to get replaced in the brand new office when I move into this new place. I am so excited about this new place, by the way. I'll absolutely do an office and house tour, tell you about the people I'm living with. Maybe that'll be a nice 250,000 subscriber special, which, by the way, we're so close to right now. Feel free to hit the subscribe to join. That's that little plug done. Anyway, I stole my lovely girlfriend's sunglasses and decided they suited me better, and I made my way down to meet the leader of Team Pop Funko, Cyrus. He didn't want to battle, probably because he was too scared about my godly Bidoof. I think he's been researching the legends about some Pokemon called Arceus. I don't know, nothing that I've ever heard of. The only god I know is Maya, and we made our way to Hearthome City, where there's a whole church of people that worship Maya. That's what that light is, right? On the top, that's Maya. And I made my way over to Amity Square, where I was completely offended by the person on the door who said that I couldn't have Bidoof following me around because apparently Maya wasn't cute enough. I'm sorry. So I had to take Nota Bidoof out of their Pokeball to have a little run around with them. They enjoyed their brief freedom before I crammed them back into the Pokeball and stuffed them into the box. See you later, Nota Bidoof. And finally, Maya was able to be free of her Pokeball and followed me around, and, well, I'll just let the clip speak for itself. Maya! Jumping for joy? We're gonna wait for Maya to catch up. Look at it, it's a little bit of bread. It's a little bread. It's a little loaf. It's a little loaf of bread. After all this, we encountered Falcone in one of the most beautiful looking battle arenas I think I've ever seen in all of Pokemon. And from there, we swept all the trainers we could all the way to Solaceon Town, even taking on the Lost Tower, where I realized that the power of Bidoof's ghost immunity here was going to be something very useful. I also find it really, really strange that they didn't keep the platinum fix of having Fantina as the third gym. I really felt that this would have been a perfect point to have another gym and would have given me much needed experience ready for the actual third gym against Maylene. Because the next place we were heading was Veilstone City. Or were we? See, on the way to Veilstone, there are some trainers that I'm just not ready for. There's a double battle, which I don't even know if I could have done, against a Kadabra and Gyarados belonging to some ace trainers, and there's a Ruin Maniac who has a Bronzor and a Shieldon, and I just wasn't ready to tackle Steel-type Pokemon. But with my newfound freedom, I decided to take a detour, the long route through the marshes, battling against Pokemon Rangers and through the environment and battling guards at nighttime who thought I was stealing a loaf of bread, but no, that's just Maya, and I headed down to Pastoria City, where my third gym badge would actually be taken from the leader, Crasher Wake. The gym trainers themselves actually weren't too hard to beat. And by the way, I absolutely adore the puzzle in this gym. It's so straightforward, but I absolutely love it. Also, water looks so good in this game, but not when it's drowning out the power of Maya. The combination of his Gyarados with Intimidate that would lower my physical attack, which was what my Pokemon was doing, plus Quagsire being a bulky wall, and then Floatzel being a good all-rounder, just really put Maya in a tough spot. I thought maybe I would have to do these badges in order. But then I remembered, Maya is versatile with all sorts of powers and boost ups to work with. Work Up itself, the main boosting move I had been relying on, didn't just boost physical attack but also the special attack. So I taught it Grass Knot and Shockwave, being able to exploit the quad weaknesses of both Gyarados and Quagsire, giving me my third gym badge, the Fen badge, nice and early. And at this point, Maya was around level 40 and I felt like she might be in a place to actually take on Maylene and her Lucario. So I decided to skip leg day and weave through the trainers on my way up to Veilstone, where I finally made myself look on the outside how I felt on the inside. And then we let the gauntlet begin. Machoke upon Meditite. They came with their low sweeps and their brick breaks, but Maya was able to hit fast with Quick Claw and pluck its way to victory, leaving me with just Maylene to go. It was difficult, but I realized that, yeah, I can even take on a Machoke. But after a gruesome first matchup, including one absolute nonsense critical hit. What is with these critical hits? What? I realized that I was too tired to do this. I switched off for the night and came back the next day with a strategy. Day 2 of playing began, and I immediately knew what I had to do. All of Maylene's attacks on me were going to be, of course, physical attacks, and I decided I would finally buy from the Veilstone store those items that I hadn't touched yet all run through. The X items, specifically X defenses, boosting my physical defense, allowing me to use Work Up to build up my power. I would heal and pace with her attacks as I kept on boosting my strength, and then eventually I was able to swoop in and pluck my way through her Pokemon. I even two-shotted her Lucario. And to me, this was the confidence boost that I was going to make it all the way to the end. I could do 8 badges, I could do the Elite Four, I could battle a God of Time, I could deal with whoever or whatever was laying in wait in the championship room. At this point, though, it kind of becomes a weird part of the story because Sinnoh is a very oddly structured game, and if you do these events out of order, like I did with the Fen badge, there's just a whole lot of Team Galactic side quests going on. Dawn loses her Pokedex, there's a guy in Pastoria who wants to blow up the lake with a bomb, that bomb then finds its way to Celestic Town, and between all of those, I'm trying to fill up Pokedex, so I'm going and clearing out as many of the routes as possible, trying to gain experience. At this point in the game, 80% of the region is already unlocked. I also saw a cool mural with Azelf, Uxie, and Mesprit, and in the middle, you see that dot? That's a Bidoof, that's Maya, as seen from above. I also took on Fantina, and despite the fact I got all of her simple maths questions wrong, I actually decided to go back through all the rooms and battle all the trainers, because if you don't battle a trainer here with a Drifloon, you have to wait till a Friday rolls around for one to appear, and I was actually trying to fill out my Pokedex as well. I then had a super easy rival battle against Falcone and Canalive. Seriously, when Falcone and I start doing these challenge runs in the new house, this is how it's going to be every time. I am going to kick his butt. I wonder what kind of challenges we can do together. Maybe I should do my first ever Soul Link. I need to slow down and do a Nuzlocke first. Anyway, I went to Iron Island to train up, and by the time I was out of there, Maya was over level 50, and I had unlocked both Swords Dance and the incredibly powerful move, Superpower, a fighting type move that I knew would serve me very well against the upcoming gym leaders who are both Steel and Ice type. And sure enough, Byron could not beat a superpowered Bidoof. After a small nap, I was feeling ready to take on the end, but it seemed Team Galactic had caught wind of this Maya, a godly Pokemon they weren't expecting, and they tried to bait me out by blowing up lakes. They did not realize how powerful Maya was, though. Saturn stood absolutely no chance. Mars was a little bit more trouble and did KO me once. And what I love about this is that the last place that I had healed was my own house. So, like, when I fainted at the lake, I literally ran home crying to Mum. Mom, the evil Team Galactic, they beat my Pokemon. We beat Mars, and then Professor Rowan said something that I'm including as a screenshot linked in the description that I do hope as many of you as possible will download and use at your own discretion, because I think we're somehow going to need this image a lot next year when we move in together. Maya and I trudged through the snow, battling trainers and leveling up, and made our way to the Snowpoint Gym, where we had absolutely no problems at all with the puzzle. Sorry, no problems at... No, I wasn't confused, just stop showing them the bad edits. I said no problems with the gym puzzle. None. Ruin, stop showing them the bad edits. No, I know that's what happened. I'm trying to portray myself as a Pokemon master. No problems at all. And then we beat Candace. We finally went to take on Team Galactic at their hideout and show them what a true god looks like. She's around 1'8" and goes by the nickname Loaf. It's Maya, the monster Bidoof, and we wrecked house. Cyrus ran away to summon a god of time as if that would stop me, and I chased him up to the tip of Spear Pillar, where, there on the crest of Mount Cornet, this exchange happened. Wow. Wait. You literally can't battle them? I had no choice. If I wanted to finish this game, I couldn't do it with just Bidoof, and poor not a Bidoof had to be brought into battle. I was so hopeful that Maya could use her godly powers to protect not a Bidoof, and I actually got to try out something really cool, because after the first KO, after commanding not a Bidoof to use Growl Attack, it leveled up. Piplup actually leveled up a bunch of times, allowing me to swap the move that I had commanded it to use with a new move, and then another new move on top of that. And despite no longer knowing Growl, not a Bidoof did try to use Growl anyway. But sadly, Piplup would fall. Still, made it to a Brindle though. That's not bad for a Pokemon that I'm not using in this run. Falcone and I teamed up for a climactic battle against Jupiter and Mars, and then finally, we took on Cyrus, who only took one try to beat. And then finally, we were up against this. Whoa, look at that background. This is actually kind of godly. I gotta say, I would have been scared if it wasn't for... Well, looks like Dawn's catching tutorial actually did come in handy. Look, call me a cheat, I got another badge to get. I forgot to even nickname it Nada Bidoof, but it went into the box, and then we made our way to Sunnyshore's City with Maya to get our 8th gym badge. But the night was getting late, and I decided to take one last break before continuing the next morning. The final day began, and for this stream, I decided to swap out the Bidoof jumper I've been wearing all weekend because, you know, it was starting to smell. By the way, thank you to Gavvy for the gift of this jumper. They heard that I was doing this run and decided to send it to me. And, wait, have I washed that jumper yet? Oh gosh, I've been so busy with all this video making. No, I haven't even put a wash on. I bet that jumper smells like a Bidoof too. Anyway, we took on the electric gym, and my mum came in and gave me some words of encouragement, as well as bribed me into, well, shouting out her YouTube channel. That's right, my mum has a YouTube channel. I will leave it linked in the description. Go send her some love on her channel, as she gave me words of encouragement, and we took on that final gym, and won. Maya got us 8 gym badges. On our way up to the water's edge, I was interrupted by Jasmine, and oh, wait, Jasmine? Ooh, Let's Go Johto games confirmed? No, I don't think so. They're not going to do them. It's a Heart Gold and Soul Silver reference, everyone. Don't get too excited. And then we began to surf our way up to Victory Road and the Pokemon League. I checked my Pokedex to see who was missing and committed to battling every trainer in Victory Road because then I would be able to fill its pages and double ow! The trainers in here were tougher than I thought, KOing Maya a few times, but inch by inch, we carved our path through Victory Road. I also picked up one last rare candy. This whole time I had been saving them, leaving me with a total of 9 that I would save for the absolute final fight. And eventually, I got out of that cave and made my way to the Pokemon League, where I would battle Falcone one final time. And oh yeah, what a battle it was. I cannot wait for us to live together. This is what every week is going to be like. Which, by the way, with me, him, and the lovely Last Shaman, we're all going to be living together and making content together. There's also our friend Jake, but he's not on Twitch, but you should absolutely be following us on all of those. I will be leaving them linked in the description. I'm sure we are going to be playing a lot more Pokemon and doing a lot more challenges over there, the 3 of us, soon. With my sassy Maya Loaf, I turned on battle animation, saved the game, healed my team of 1, spent money on all the items I thought I could need, and landed on my final moveset. She was level 72 with the moves Double Team, Swords Dance, Headbutt, and Pluck. I decided to delete the superpower move because Pluck would be my best option against Flint's Infernape, and wait, I'm sure there's another fighting Pokemon in the league. Who is it that's at the end of the Elite Four again? You know, I've been so wrapped up with Maya being the most powerful Pokemon, I don't even think there is anything else more powerful than Maya in the region. But all set up, I had in mind the absolute perfect strat. With each of the Elite Four, I was going to aim to do the following. I would drop 3x defenses to boost my defense by as much as possible. Then 3x special defenses to boost my special defense by the same amount. Then 3x attacks or Swords Dance, either was fine. 3x speeds to allow me to outspeed most of my opponents even naturally because I was such a higher level than them. I wouldn't have to rely on the Quick Claw too much. A dire hit to boost my critical hit rate, and and 6 double teams. The order of these items and moves would vary depending on the Pokemon I battle, but the double teams would mean that Maya's dodging pretty much every single move. Of course, when she did get hit, I would have to heal up, but HP was by far her highest stat anyway, allowing me a lot of time to do these setup items. The damage against her would be negligible. She would move fast and sometimes even faster with a Quick Claw, and then if she did hit first with Headbutt, it would either kill or perhaps even flinch, because that's Headbutt's secondary effect. By the way, if you're wondering, Return is sadly not in this version of Pokemon. I think it's to do with the current generation and the way that friendship works. Speaking of friendship, because of the way that affection works, Maya was very often just dodging hits regardless of boosts, shedding off paralysis and poison and sleep just by itself without me using a heal, and landing additional critical hits regardless of the dire hit. As well as that, I had Plucked to make use of the recovery berries that at least one Pokemon in each Elite Four team used, and all of this combined made Maya an absolute missile that the Elite Four just wouldn't be ready for. There were still challenges. Aaron's Drapion uses the Sniper ability and has a certain scope item which boosts the critical hit rate, and used Night Slash that had improved critical hit rates, and critical hits completely don't care about your X items, they just boost through them. So I wasn't able to beat Aaron until my second or third try. Bertha was a little less trouble, though I did have to keep healing from the toxics that her Quagsire was putting out there. Flint's Infernape held a Focus Sash, meaning I couldn't kill it in one hit, and of course it landed a critical close combat first try, meaning I had to rebattle him. Everything anyway. No! And then finally, there was Lucian. Lucian wasn't too much of a problem, but I wasted some X accuracies to time out his Reflect, meaning that my physical attacks would do as much as possible. And finally, with that, I did it. I entered the room with the most jamming music of all time. Yeah, I absolutely, maybe this is my favorite track in all of Pokemon, I don't know. But hang on, who's this? Oh yeah, you're the other Pop Funko character that I've seen walking around this game. What are you, wait. Oh, hang on, no, I remember this. You're the champion. And with that, the battle with Cynthia was on, and thank goodness this wasn't the same battle as in Diamond and Pearl. I wanted to use X items to boost up Maya, and in Diamond and Pearl, her Spiritomb knew Embargo, which would have locked me out of using items. But here, I only knew Psychic, Dark Pulse, I think a Ghost move, and then Sucker Punch. I never saw the Ghost move, because obviously it wouldn't have affected Maya. Sucker Punch also didn't do a lot while I was setting up. Also, right before the battle, I dropped all of those rare candies that I had, meaning I was jacking up Maya to level 84 at the beginning of this battle, and I set her up exactly according to the plan. 3x defense, 3x attacks, 3x special defense, 3x speeds, 1 dire hit, 6 double teams. I healed her up to full, and then the onslaught began. One by one, her Pokemon fell. Pluck would hit her Spiritomb, her Roserade, and her Lucario, while Headbutt dealt with Gastrodon and Milotic. And then finally, there was her Garchomp. The famous, the legendary Garchomp. A Garchomp that has as much status as Maya in the Pokemon world. And at this point, I wanted to say something. To those of you who are here listening to this point in the video, thank you. Thank you for supporting not just this video, but also the last challenge run that I did. Again, I'll leave that linked in the description. It's Let's Go Pikachu, but every time I beat a gym leader, I steal their Pokemon. And also thank you, because that video has done so well. It's shown me that this is something that me and Falcone and the Last Shaman and our friend Jake, we're so excited about moving into this new place together, and it's something that we can do together. We can play games and share that with the world. I will be doing my first Nuzlocke very soon, which I might stream on Twitch. I may have already started it. I'm undecided whether I'll be streaming on Twitch or YouTube. By the new year, I should have a much clearer plan of what's going on. I should be moved in as well just before Legends Arceus, so Legends Arceus may be the first run-through in the new house, and then we can start getting on with Legends Arceus challenge run-throughs. I'm excited to give this whole endeavor another go. Also, a shout out to Dina, who's been doing the thumbnails for the series, and wow, these last 2 thumbnails, I absolutely love them, and she's such a gem to work with, so links to her are also in the description down below. Also, the biggest thank you to Ruin Maniac Files, who's actually editing these runs, the incredible editing work you saw at the beginning with the Bidoof. That's all him, and just thank you for supporting me, mate. It really means a lot. He is also a PokeTuber, so you can find a link to his channel in the description down below. And finally, a thank you to all of you who came along and actually watched this live, who took part, any of you who donated or tried to help out with me towards my house funds. It really means the world, but just having you here, watching, liking, commenting, and sharing this video if you've enjoyed it with a friend, thank you. Thank you for supporting this. I'm going to do a lot more of it. If you're hearing this, you truly are my secret audience, so shout out to you. Anyway, I took on her Garchomp and, well, Maya slew it in one hit because that's what she's for. She's a god. And with that, we were into the Hall of Fame. Bidoof. Oh, wow. Thank you, everyone who has been watching this live, or if you're watching this on YouTube. Wow. I can't believe we did it. I'm going to think of some more challenges. And after all that, I just had space in my Pokédex for one more Pokemon. That was Palkia, which is some kind of space god. I don't know, it still doesn't look like a Bidoof to me. And I learned of a much darker threat living in the Sendos Spring. But when I found it, it was only a cute little Giratina. I caught it with an Ultra Ball, and I don't know, I think next to Maya, it's gonna make a nice little cute pet. So, can I beat Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl with just a Bidoof? Yes. Yes, I absolutely can. But can I do an actual challenge, like my first ever Nuzlocke here on Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl? Well, for that, you'll have to stay tuned and stay subscribed. So hi, Pokemon Masters.
This is Ash Ketchum. You just watched a video by Birdkeeper Toby. That makes you a Pokemon Master.
I still just can't get over how much love this channel has. Thank you for the support of my patrons, and especially the big patrons of the month, JD Gottlich, Michael Hornschuch, PokeAtmos, Stefan Peters, PokeBliss, and Jedruben. Thank you.